Take a deep breath with me. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. How do humans breathe? What is the science behind this? Here's a challenge. How long can you hold your breath for? Pause the video, try it out, and make sure to record your answer. Think about how you just had to hold your breath. What did you do to take such a deep breath in and contain it for so long? Let's look at an experiment that can test your lung capacity. For our materials, we will be needing a 2-liter container and a tub of water. At home, you can use a large sink or your bathtub. You will also need some rubber vinyl tubing, or if you don't have that, you can use some sort of bendy straw. You will also need a Sharpie. Take your container, fill it up with water. Then, carefully flip the container into the tub of water. Without taking the bottle out of the water, insert the straw or tubing into the opening. Take a deep breath and blow into the tube in one breath. You will notice that the air you breathe in pushes the water out of the bottle, and the amount of empty space in the bottle represents your lung capacity. To record this, mark where the water level reaches. Then, the bottle out of the container. Using a measuring cup, you can measure out water and pour it until it reaches the mark to record the approximate volume of your lung capacity. Now that we have explored a little about breathing and lung capacity, let's answer the question, what do our lungs look like? Let's go over the structure of our lungs. We have 2 cone-shaped lungs. Within each lung, we have many bronchial tubes that allow the air we breathe in to travel to the lungs. These look like the roots of a tree, where the trunk branches off into several different sections. At the ends of these tubes are alveoli, which are small clusters of air sacs. These small bubbles of air give the lungs a large amount of surface area for the gases to be exchanged. Oxygen goes into our blood and carbon dioxide goes out of our blood. People think that when you breathe, air is being suctioned from your surroundings into your lungs. But, as you will see in this next example, this is actually not the case. Breathing has a lot to do with the expanding and contracting of the diaphragm and the changing of high to low pressure. To visualize this, try it out with this easy at-home experiment. For this lab, you will need a plastic cup, a regular-sized balloon, a smaller-sized water balloon, a straw, scissors, some tape, and a rubber band. First, we are going to cut across the widest part of the large balloon. Give it a good stretch, since we are going to be putting this over the opening of our cup later on. Then, we only need part of the straw to extend into the cup, so measure accordingly and cut. Using the rubber band, tie the small water balloon to one end of the straw. Next, we need to cut a hole into the top of this cup. This part is dangerous and requires your parents to help you. Taking the cup, put a bit of pressure on the scissors while turning the cup on the table. This will eventually create a hole big enough for the straw to fit through. After putting the straw through the hole in the cup, you will want to secure the straw to the bottom of the cup using some tape. Stretch the piece of balloon we cut earlier over the opening of the cup. This part may be difficult, so asking someone to hold the cup while you stretch the balloon over makes it easier. As you can see, when you push on the balloon, the water balloon inside shrinks When you pull on the water balloon inside expands. The balloon over the opening represents your diaphragm, and the water balloon represents your lungs. The straw above represents your mouth when you breathe in air. Your diaphragm expands and contracts, changing the pressure inside of your lungs. There's no such thing as the force of suction. Air moves from high pressure, pushing into lower pressure. Because of this, the atmospheric pressure pushes air into our lungs, which is what happens when you inhale. When our diaphragm contracts, our chest becomes smaller, increasing pressure inside of our lungs. This increase in pressure pushes the air out of our lungs, which is what happens when we exhale. If you think about it, we are always subconsciously breathing. We breathe when we sleep, exercise, or basically anything. However, we can bring our breathing into consciousness for certain activities like belly breathing or meditation to calm down, or hold our breath for longer, like the challenge at the beginning of the video. Learning how to breathe can help you relax and de-stress, or maybe you want to hold your breath for longer and want to increase your lung capacity. People like freedivers, singers, and athletes train their breathing all the time to perform at their best. And you can do the same. Happy sciencing!